Hello, hi, good evening. How are you, creative people? I hope you all are doing great. Okay, so yeah, on today's class, we are going to learn about the component, basically. Okay, basically we are learning a very basic. Okay, and if you are a new and you are just watching this video, that means I have already created a lot of videos and I request you, if you are absolute beginner, then you can follow along from the that few videos. Like we have altogether, I think 13, 14 videos. Then you can start. This course is for absolute beginner, like who doesn't have any idea regarding the UX UI design and the Figma. Okay, everything. It's just the absolute beginner, like. Okay, so on the previous class, we talked about the wireframe and Markov. Okay, and we complete one small screen, and I give you some kind of idea how you can create an icon. Obviously, I am not here like being a very aesthetical while creating anything. I'm just giving you a very basic idea so that you can play with your what do you call it, user interface of this Figma and try to be comfortable with the icons and other interface properties and these are the things. So later on we can make like we can sharpen our skills and you can learn more things and you can create. See, yesterday I showed you how you can create a home icon. See, this icon is very basic and I just use pen tool and create it. This also I used pen tool to create this icon, but still you can see the difference between the icons. So the finish on this icon is far better than this first product. Okay, so while you're learning your work, your project, your screen might not look very pleasant, good, okay, and it might not look like not following any guidelines or anything. It happens, okay. Just you have to be a very what do you call experiment with your design and try to practice a daily basis. So on today's class, I will give you a basic idea of how you can um, create a component, okay, and swap your component. Very basic idea here. I'm introducing a very basic, okay. So let's create a component here, okay. So first, let's create a component is generally like a reusable block or element. See, now here we have only one or two pages so that we don't have to worry about the lots of things. But when we are working in a real project, there might be multiple pages, maybe 20, 30, or anything like more than 10, 12, or 20. So it can be. And if you like try to change each button, let's say, for example, there is a one button and you need to, and you need to change the color of that particular button. And let's assume that there are 30 buttons, okay. So if you may try to manually change each and every button, then it will be very like a time consuming, and you like a very novice kind of beginner kind of things, okay, you're doing. So what you have to do is you have to make a kind of component so that you can use that component in each screen. And if you need to change to like color or anything, then you can change immediately, and you can change in one particular component and it will adapt automatically. So likewise you can create a kind of component. Component is a element or a block that can be used, that can create for the reusable, okay, for reuse. So first, let's create one simple button so that we can reuse. Okay. First, I will drag one rectangle box and I will create. Let's say I will make it 125 height and 250. Let's say no, it's very big. Okay, let's reduce 80. Okay, simple. Just I'm exploring. Okay, I'm just creating. Not yeah, 50 would be good. Okay, and I will make it this as a primary button. Okay, so because of that I'm giving a little bit brighten color so that it can be visible. And let's say learn more. Okay, I'm writing here learn more, and I'll increase the font. Okay, Here I'm not following any guideline or anything. I'm just showing a basic idea how you can create a component. Okay. So I changed the color and okay, I created one primary button. So simply how we can create a component is, so first, what you have to do is we have to select the both the what do you call element text and background, and then what we can do is we can right click on it and create a component, or you can press Control Alt and K from keyboard, or simply see I already mentioned two different. Okay, first select, right click and click on. This is how you can create one step. Or second method is to press Control Alt K. Second, and there is another third method, that is click on this icon. See, there is one rectangle box, small kind of rectangle box. Okay, so you can click on that, and it also help you to create a component. So I will go with the three different. Okay, so one. Okay, and I will create another button also. I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, and I'll create a dragging. So I created a three different buttons so that I can show you the three different way to create a component. So first one is right click and create a component. Okay, I created one component. See, you can see the component one. Okay, and another I will create for another one. For next one, what I do is I will change some what do you call background color so that we can see identify it's a different what do you call button. Okay, so first I will do what I do is I will remove the fill color and add a stroke. Okay, I will choose the same purple color, and for the text also I will choose same purple color. Okay, see, this is how. Okay, now I selected both. Okay, first I showed you how to create a right click and create a component. Okay, now it's already gone because we already created because of that. So now what I show you, I will show you by how to play. So uh, select, Control Shift and the K. Sorry, Control Alt and K. Okay, this is how. See, Control Alt and K from the keyboard, and you can create a second. So now there is a third. Okay, so for the third, I will make it like a disabled or inactive kind of. Because of that, for that, what I do, I will use less color. Okay, and I will change the text color to, again, let's see how it looks. Okay, I will change black. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, black is more highlighted. I don't want to make it a little bit faded one. Let's choose. Okay, it's a kind of disable. I want to show you it. I just want to make it like a disabled. Okay, so see, now again you can select both the elements and click on that. See, this is how we can create a component. So first method. Okay, okay, first method and the second method and the third method. Uh, uh, we can follow the three different way to create the same component. It's just the first one is right clicking on and clicking create a component. There might we can see that now we already created. Because of that we haven't seen a create a component, but here we can see the create component. And another one is select both element and Control Alt and K. Okay, second method. And third method is select and click on here. We already created. Because of that we don't have this kind of icon. Okay, so that we can create a component. Okay, so simply we created a one component. Now it's time to rename. See, once we create the component we need to rename it. Okay, so what I do is here, let's rename. Okay, so what I rename, okay, what I do is it is in a simple way. Okay, I will rename it as a primary button button. Okay, and this one is, let's say, uh, uh, secondary. Yes, secondary button. Okay, and the last one is, let's say, disable button. Okay, we have a three different component and I created. Now, how we can see the assets? We build a what do you call it, component, and how we can reuse it. Okay, so we can reuse it from the assets panel. See, you can see the three different component. One is a disabled button, another one is primary button, and another one is secondary. So these are the three button that we created. Okay, these are called master button or master component. Okay, so what we have to do is whenever we trying to use it, so these master buttons should kept in our design system so that we can reuse through the asset panel. Okay, we have to use this component from asset. Okay, or simply we can copy and reuse. But what happen is, for example, if we create one particular different page for the assets, then it will be quite hard to navigate, go to the particular first page and copy and paste it. It will be very like time consuming. And Figma has already one feature that we can click on assets and we can find all the assets that we have created, all the component that we have created, and we can drag and drop in our space. For example, let's drag here and drop. See, now we can see the difference between the main component and the second component. Now what we call is second component is instance. Okay, instance. uh, See, we can see the difference in our layer panel. See, this is our second, what do you call, component, or we dragged and dropped here. It's called instance. See, there is a small icon is changed. In primary, what we are seeing filled four different icon, but in the instance icon, what we are seeing just a outlined rectangle box. Okay, this is how we can identify whether it is a main component or instant component. So let's try to duplicate again. Okay, I'm just duplicating. Okay, control sorry alt and dragging, and we can duplicate it. See how it will be very useful if we use the component entire. For example, let's say I will create more, what do you call, button. Okay, so I will create more, again more. See, now we have this much button, and like changing individually the component is quite hard. Okay, so it will take much more time. Okay, and we cannot be precise to the first color also. Sometimes there might be a very different what you can color value can be applied. Because of that, what we can do is we can just go to our main component. Okay, and we can change the, what do you call, color uh, from our properties panel, and we can just simply change the color. See, all the color are automatically applied to other instance, other components. So this is how simply what we can do is we can use. Okay. So this is how we can, what you called, use the component. Okay. So what we are doing, we are just reusing component here. Okay. This is how basically we can do. Okay. Again, let's change some kind of shape also. Let's I will reduce the what do you call, radius uh, 5. See, automatically adopted by other instance also. It's a very easy and efficient way to create your component and reuse it. So it will like help you to speed up your work. Okay, so this is how we can create one component and we can use instant in our throughout whole the project through assets panel. This is one method. Now on the same class, okay, there are other ways, so we can swap or different. So now I will show you how you can swap. Okay, swap means switching. For example, now in these what you called button, I want this outline secondary button. Okay, so how can you do is, so for example, select this button, and here you can see the on property panel there is a one properties option and primary button is shown. Okay, on this button we can see our local components. What we can do is we need a secondary button. Simply, very simple. If you like, if we rename it, and if we named properly, then we can use it. There is another way to rename it, so that we can see in very easily. Here what we can do is I'll rename it. Okay, so first I will delete all the second instance that I created. Okay, I will rename it. So you have to follow some naming convention also. Okay, so button button slash primary. Okay, and the second button button slash secondary. Secondary. Okay, next one is button button slash, what do you call, each one is the disable. Okay, so this is how we can create, and we can see the changes. Okay, and there is another one way that, see, these three different, what you called, buttons are in one, individually, they are not grouped together, so we can group them in one particular frame. So what we do, I will create one frame. Okay, and and I will rename it button button. Okay, so I created one frame. Okay, and then I grouped in one, and I didn't group, just I create one frame and I put all the buttons in one frame so that we can see the changes. What is happening here? It's not changing. It should be changing. Okay, I don't know. Let me, it should be changed. Otherwise, let's say where it will show you, so or not. Just let's reuse the components. Okay, so let's drag and let's use. Okay, so yeah. Okay, for example, we need to, if we see, you can see the primary. Okay, and it is now here. You can see the button. Okay, the button means that we created or we grouped together. Because of that, we can see the buttons here now. Okay, and within a button, there we have a three different state of button. One is primary, another one is secondary, and another one is disable. So let's duplicate the first primary button one more time. Okay, pressing Control D. First I'm dragging and then pressing Control D. Okay, so what I do is these and these and these. What I want, instead of primary, I want secondary, and for these and for these and for this, what I want, instead of primary, I want secondary, I applied disabled. See, this is how you can play with uh, component. Okay, it's just a basic idea. Okay, there are lots of things that you can do. Okay, so first try to create a component and try to rename your component in a proper way so that you can uh, switch your component. For example, here I changed some primary color to secondary color, and second primary or secondary, or I can change with the different state also. Okay, so it is very useful. Okay, not only for buttons, there are multiple ways we can create. And for example, in our this high fidelity mockup, so this can be one component. Okay, and this can be another component. We can create it and we can switch it very easily. But here, yesterday's class, on last class, what we did, we manually created the component. Okay, but if we manually created the our element. But if we create one, and if we save or we created a component, then we can reuse it. But yesterday we didn't created the component because this is our first class, and we are trying to uh, familiar with the interview. Because of that, I did create it. Okay, now I did create. Okay, so what you can do is you can explore by yourself, try to create as many as component and try to explore. Okay, first don't try to like be organized or think, just try to create the component, multiple types of component. You can create these cards. Okay, or maybe you can create this kind of cards also, the visa credit cards also, or you can explore with the e-commerce card or multiple way. There are so many components. For example, you can create a music app like Spotify, and there are lots of components that are need to use multiple times. Okay, and you can use that particular idea in your application, and you can practice more. So this is just a basic idea to create a component and swapping your component. Here I swapped from primary to outline. Here I swap primary to disable, so that it will be easy to change everything. For example, if I need to change the disable color, simply what I can do is just I can click on that main component, okay, and I can change the color. Let's say for the disable I will go with gray color, okay, gray. See, very easy. Instead of this, if I did create the component, and instead of the like using main component, if I created a manually, then I have to click on that, and again I have to, what do you call, change in properties, and again I have to go to the next, and again I have to change the, what do you call, color. Okay, so, doing this, it will give me a lot of it will take a lot of time. Okay, but using component we can change uh, colors in very easily. Okay, this is the things. Okay, now again, so while talking about the component, so I hope you are getting some basic idea here. If we change on main component, the other instance are adopting the main component. But if we while I am changing the color of instance, that main component is not accepted. So why it is so? Because these are a main component, okay? These are instance, okay? These instance always follow the, what do you call, main component's properties. They will inherit the main component's properties. But instance, like main component will not inherit the instance properties. Because of that, we are not seeing any changes when we are doing on these instance, what do you call, component. Okay, that you have to think. For example, if we able to change any size also, it won't affect. Okay, uh, okay, so let's reduce, make one. Here, see, sorry, it's already 50, so let's make it 5. Okay, see, I changed here, but nothing is changed in main component. Okay, why? Because this is instance, and the main component will not inherit the this properties. Okay, if you want to like again, see, now here I changed the instance, and what I want is, now I want same as this one, the learn more first main component. I want this component, instance component, as the main component. So what I can do is I can click on that, right click, okay, and reset all changes. Okay, reset all changes. I can simply click here, or I can click on this icon also. Okay, so I will do one thing. I will show you two different way also. So what I do is I will change this properties also. So let's change 5 here also, and let's change the color also. I'll put red here. Okay, so first I will click here and right click and reset all changes. See, it automatically inherits the main component. And for this also, what I do, I will click here. See, multiple ways. So whatever, what kind of result that we want, we can do the things in a multiple ways. It's just your idea and your, what do you call, easiness, how you will want to use the tools, and how you can speed up your work. So everything is matters, depends upon you. How do you want to learn, and how do you want to use the tools and everything. Okay, this is all about today's class. And today we will introduce a lot more, maybe related with the components, or maybe we will learn spacing and guidelines on tomorrow's class. Okay, so for today's, and I would like to end this class here, and we will continue on next class on tomorrow. Okay, thank you for your timing, and I appreciate it. So I hope that you will get some ideas and some insight, and I just request you to practice a lot then you will become a master and you will understand what exactly a component and how can you create the instance or anything. Or if you have any questions, then obviously you can ask. Let's say Kingsley is here, I think. Um, so yeah, Kingsley, do you have anything that you want to ask related with the components? If you have confusion, then you
Yeah,
can ask.
yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah.
I catched up a little, but I didn't know how the component, like before you start every lesson or class, you usually first of all define the component and some of the attributes and what they are used for.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed
Mm-hmm.
that one, and that is the question I have. I don't know how I
Oh,
only
okay.
joined the class when the yeah.
Okay, no worries. So basically, I will repeat the things. Okay, don't worry about that. So components are generally the grouped element, or let's say blocks in Figma that we created. Okay, and that component, why we create actually component is to reuse. Okay, whenever we are working in a website or e-commerce or marketplace or mobile applications, there are some elements they are going to repeat it. Okay, like for example, let's say CTA buttons are mostly repeated. Okay, so instead of creating manually, we can create one element that can reusable. Okay, that can be, for example, if you let's take an example of okay, brick factory. I hope you understand my like a brick factory. They have one kind of what you call kind of set of tools. The exact size of brick made by wooden or any iron.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. They just
Okay.
poured the mist supplement inside, and then it should just
Yes.
give the exact
Okay,
size. Okay, yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Likewise, in Figma also we can create one main component so that we can just copy the main component and we can reuse it. For example, if we change the master of that particular brick frame, we can change. Obviously, if these things are made already and they are not, they are disconnected, then we can change the finished product. But in digital form, what we can do is once we created one master component and once after creating other instance, we can change entire thing using only one master key. Likewise, here I show you. For example, I will delete again and I will explain the few things. Okay. First, I created one component or let's say one master key. Okay. And now I'm using same master key for multiple times. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. For example, I used multiple times, let's say three different instance I made. Okay. Now, maybe let's say the company decided to change the color of primary city option. Okay, it was like dark pink or dark purple. Now they want yellow, dark yellow color. Okay, so while they ask for the dark color, now if we try to change manually, then it will take a lot of time. Here we have only 20, but in just imagine if we have hundreds of button or more than hundreds or more than 30, any number can be, it will take much more time. Even if we love, for example, we have a 30 buttons and we take 1 minute to change one particular button, still it will take 30 minutes, right? So
Yes, yes.
time consuming. So instead of like creating manually, what we can do is we can create one master, okay, master component or main component, okay, or primary component, whatever you can create one main component, and then we can use that main component as an instance so that we can change in one particular icon or anything, and it will adapt by other related what do you call the instance, so it will be very fast. For example, if there is a 100 buttons, then within 1 minute we can change the 100 buttons color. Okay, it's just a reusable block or element that calls component. Okay, these are the
Yeah.
simple things, but you have what you have to do is you have to practice. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Okay.
please. I will quickly. The what is the spelling of that instinct? I would like to quickly
Sorry,
because
I didn't understand your question. Could you?
the spelling of the instinct, or what do you call it? I mean, the one after the components, what you remove from the component, what is it called? The correct spelling so that I can Google it. I'm not
Instance,
getting it right.
instance, instance, instance. You're talking
Okay.
about instance or a
Yes,
component?
yes. No, no,
Okay,
no, no.
instance.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
What's the spelling, please?
I have to check. INS
I N S
ENANC. Instance.
E N. Okay, incense.
Uh,
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
okay, you're welcome. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
for
I
your
get
time.
it.
If you have any questions, then obviously you can ask. And if you still get confused, then obviously you can go. I will post immediately, and you can go and watch the full video, and you will get the full idea. Okay,
Yeah,
before
sure.
like in the first session, I think you join after 9:12 or something. And
Yeah,
before that, what you can, I try to explain what is the component, how can we use, and what are the things that we are learning throughout whole videos. So you can revisit the videos, okay? And if still
okay,
if
sir.
you confused, then you can get in touch with the WhatsApp, or you can ask anything, okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. All
Okay,
right.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I appreciate. Thank you for the time
okay.
and
Thank you.
yeah,
Bye bye. Have a good night. Okay. Bye.
have a good night. Yeah.